This is the CamSnap Pro, a screen-free digital camera designed to keep you in the moment with no scrolling and no distractions. All the way from sunny Long Beach, California to sunny Yorkshire, England, the CamSnap Pro has arrived. That was a lie, it's absolutely chucking it down outside, but never mind. In this video, I'm going to go through everything you need to know about this screen-free digital camera. I'm going to test it in real-world scenarios and show you the photographs that I take. I'll give you my honest thoughts as we go along, and if you want to get your hands on one of these two, you can use the link in the video description below to get yourself $5 off. Now, I'm not sure what that is in English pounds, but you get a bit of discount. I might make a bit of commission because I am on the CamSnap affiliate program, and that'll be proper good for both of us. But just to let you know, these thoughts are my own and they're not influenced by CamSnap in any way. So let's jump into it. We'll get things started by taking a quick look at what's in the box and how I set up my CamSnap Pro. This camera does not come with a lens cap. However, I was prepared for this, so I'm going to pop on a 37mm UV filter for an extra layer of protection, or you could buy a lens cap separately. That's complete user preference. It might not actually need one. The camera also does not come with a strap, so I'm going to pop this green cord strap on. Again, this is optional. In the box, there's a USB-C lead. Open the rubber protector on the bottom, plug the USB-C lead in, and the camera will start charging and it'll display charge on the screen. There's a red light on the bottom that'll eventually turn green when the camera's fully charged. To access the control panel and memory card slot, unscrew this screw and open up the bottom cover. To set the date and time, hold down the mode button and then adjust with the up and down buttons. The camera comes with a pre-installed 4GB micro SD card. Close the bottom cover and screw the bottom screw back in if you'd like. I'd say this is optional. So now we're all set up and ready to go. Let's go shoot some photos. Currently on a log cabin forest holiday weekend away with friends, and I've brought the CamSnap Pro with me. It's the ideal opportunity to test this camera and see exactly what it can do in real world shooting scenarios. In fact, weekends away with friends like this are exactly what this camera was made for. Been on a walk around the forest and this camera is super lightweight. It's almost like you've not got a camera with you. It weighs absolutely nothing. One of the things I actually cannot believe I've found myself doing is covering the lens with my finger, and I've shot with rangefinders and viewfinder cameras loads before. Yeah, I can't believe I've cut myself out with that, but I have been finding that I've also wanted to crop some of my images and straighten them a little bit in post. That's the only editing that I've done. So yeah, I've cropped out my finger of a couple of photos, but it's one of them things. Now I'm conscious of that, it probably won't happen again. I've taken over 100 photos now, and the battery is on 3 bars out of 4, so that's shooting all last night with friends and then a walk this morning for a couple of hours. And yeah, the battery life, I haven't had to charge a camera yet, that's pretty good. I've really enjoyed the screen-free shooting experience, and because this camera is so simple to use, it's been great to just put on the table when we're playing board games and socialising and having fun and passing it around, and absolutely anyone can just pick it up and use it. In indoor situations and low light, the flash is pretty essential, but it does have 2 settings. It's got a medium strength flash when you put the selector into the middle, and a full strength flash when you put the selector all the way up to the top. Taking photos with friends in close proximity, the full strength flash is a little bit too powerful, and I didn't know that at the time, so I did blow out quite a few photos with the flash on full strength. The more I've used this camera and the more images that I've taken and had a chance to review, the better the screen-free shooting experience has become. And this is because I've now got a deeper understanding of how this camera performs shooting different scenes and subjects. For example, this scene behind me, I'm hoping will look absolutely fantastic using vintage filters 1 or 2, because they are perfect for scenes like this. One of the things I forgot to mention when I went through how I set up the CamSnap Pro was the electronic shutter sound. Now, it is a false shutter sound that plays through this little speaker on the back, and you can control the volume of that electronic shutter sound. To do this, open up the bottom, hold down the mode button and flick through until S is displayed on the screen. Then you can either switch the shutter sound completely off at 0, or you've got volume options 1, 2 and 3. Now, I have experimented with trying to use this camera with the electronic shutter sound switched off, but at times I didn't even know if I was taking photos, because there's no real indication without that sound. So now I've been using this camera with the electronic shutter sound set at the lowest volume, number 1, and it also does make some sounds when you switch the camera on and off and scroll through the different filters, which is kind of handy. I've just got back from my weekend away in the woods, and I've had chance to go through all the photos that I took with the CamSnap Pro, and I've got to say, I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. I think they're absolutely perfect for posting on social media and sharing with friends. This camera really has done the job this weekend in capturing some great moments. Let's take a look at the filters that are available on the CamSnap Pro and what effect they have on the images. To do a fair comparison, I took this image of a barn in a field. It was at golden hour in the morning and the light was hitting really well. The first image that you'll see here is the standard filter. This next image is Vintage 1. The third image is Vintage 2. And the fourth image is the black and white filter. While I was on a recent client shoot, one of the models, L, posed for me so I could take some portraits using the different filters. So this first image is the standard setting. The next image here is vintage 1. Now let's have a look at vintage 2, and finally the black and white filter. So as you can see, the 4 different profiles that are available have different effects whether you're shooting scenes, landscape or portraits. And in my personal opinion, I think for shooting scenery and landscapes, vintage 1 and vintage 2 work absolutely fantastic. I really love the colours that it produces when shooting that kind of landscape and scenery photography. However, if I'm taking portraits or images of people, I definitely think it's better to use the standard profile because you get more natural skin tones. The black and white filter just works for absolutely anything. It's just great. It works in all situations, whether that's portraits or landscapes. When using the flash, I'd highly recommend that you use the standard filter or the black and white filter. I only really took portraits using the flash, and I wasn't massively keen on how the vintage filters 1 and 2 affected skin tones and generally just rendered the colour when you're taking pictures of people. Now these are all just my own personal opinions for when I've been shooting with the CamSnap Pro, and like I say, I've only had this camera a week or so, so I've still got a lot of shooting to do and a lot of learning to do. But I've thoroughly enjoyed testing it this weekend, and I've also had chance to shoot it loads and loads before and after my weekend trip away. So I'm going to leave you with a photo montage of some of my favourite images that I took outside of my weekends away. And don't forget, if you want to get $5 off any of the CamSnap cameras, including the CamSnap Pro that I've reviewed in this video, use the link in the video description below. Thanks for watching. Let's roll some of my favourite photographs that I've taken with this camera that I haven't had a chance to show you yet. I'll see you in the next one.